We're live.
We're live.
So, yay. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition, a really fun edition of Love, Sex, Jealousy, and Peace. We're here with Prerna. She's all the way from India. So, can you introduce yourself? You're a CF, and what
I,
else?
I'm also certified facilitator of Access Consciousness, and I'm from Mumbai, India. And what else? well, yeah,
Would you like to talk about? We try to time
yeah.
it after this, but I can't even. Wait, let me mute myself. So you're gonna have to talk.
I love it. I love the background music. It's like welcoming us into the call.
Okay. So I'm not sure if it's just me or have we lost. We
So,
okay. I've just been notified. Okay, good. We have
now
you back on the feed.
we are back. I was wondering
Yes, great.
because I didn't want to just keep talking by myself. So this is good.
Okay. Yeah. Um, so I'm not sure if it was on my end, but then someone just told me that you cut
yeah,
off for a bit. So,
yeah. I'm not sure if it's my internet either. Maybe it was mine.
okay,
I don't know. But
okay,
we seem to be okay for now. So.
okay. So, let's get down to business.
The business of love and sex.
Love and sex. Forget about the other things. Let's just talk about love and sex. Um,
Where do I start?
like we've been having such great conversations with
Yeah,
like Dr. Sanjeev,
yeah,
and I just want to dive into if we could remember what they were actually.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I just attended. Recently was it like 10 days back. I attended the Gentleman's Club,
Mhm.
book club reading with Annie and Sanjeev, and the conversations that we had on the book club was so phenomenal. And I keep talking about our conversations in my classes. Like, oh my god, I had this brilliant conversation about the future, and I had this brilliant conversation about. I like it just keeps popping. Like that's one of those most interesting book clubs I've been on recently as a participant. So yeah, I mean,
Thank
wow, like
you.
those conversations were great. So thank you so much for being the energy of whatever that energy was that you and Saji were being, because that opened up so much for me as well in terms of relationships and what it means to be a man and what it means to be a woman. And I mean, who would have thought that I would learn what it means to be a woman from a book called The Gentleman's Club? So,
Yes, that was definitely eye-opening for me as well.
yeah,
So yeah, we spoke. Well, the book is definitely there's a lot of sections on sex in
yeah.
that book. How about love? That's the first distractor implant in this group. So, what are your thoughts on love as a distractor implant and how to go beyond that?
Yeah, it's funny that, I mean, if I have to really look at, like how everyone has a reason to become a certified facilitator or, choose any access class or like, what's your go-to topic? The reason, for some people it's money, for some people it's, business, for some people it's whatever. For me, it's always been relationships, right? I think that's like one area of my life I could not get right, come what may. And I've been through quite a few you know chaotic situations when it comes to relationships. So I think one of those things that I did uh, come to access consciousness was to get more clarity about relationships. And lo and behold, I come to access and they say love is a distractor implant, and I'm like, no. And I was like this diehard romantic, right, where for me my entire life revolves around love and the concept of love. And I remember the first time I heard Gary say love is a distractor implant, I almost like didn't want to attend any access class anymore. take anything away from me. Don't take away more. Don't take away love. Don't take away my entire reason for existence. And I went into such a fight, but there's such a freedom that's available when realize, oh my god, especially when Gary says that as many people there are in the world, as many definitions of love there is, right? And that in itself was one of those aha moments of my life that I mean, it's impossible to define love because every person has their own concept and definition of what love is. So there is no way of getting love right because I mean, unless you take on someone else's definitions, you can't get it right. I mean, if you're being
Yeah.
you, you can't get it right, with someone else. So the whole concept of, what's true for me, and that's one of the things where I just got really present in my life with, hey, what does it mean? What is my reality with love? And what is my
Yeah.
reality with relationships? And what is my reality? And how would, I mean, if I was truly living my life and choosing my life and creating my life, what would my relationships look like? And I think one of the largest areas of impact have been love. So I mean, yeah, there's so much ease in that area, way more than there was before. Earlier, there was such a sense of wrongness. Oh my god, I can't get it right, and there was so much of like, how do I please the other person, and how can I, like how can I divorce myself and marry the other person? Like
I
I know
know.
it, married, it's okay. Like quite an Indian when it comes to that.
Yeah, and it's okay. So first off, has your point of view changed about like, oh my gosh, I don't want to take any more access classes. I want to hold on to love because I still have that sometimes.
Actually, um, I mean, I sort of now more than ever, like way more than I got it before. I mean, I'm getting it as we go. I mean, you get it when you get it. Am I completely there yet? Am I like, do I have the most clarity when it comes to love and relationships? Probably not. But it's finally I get to ask the questions where, what do Gary and Dean know about love and relationships that I don't, and what do Simone and Brendan know about love that I don't, and how can so yeah, of course there are still times where where they talk about how relationships are such a limitation, and I'm like, are we really going there again? Do you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, what if we know something so totally different that nobody knows about it yet?
Yeah, and actually that was one of those things that I wanted to sort of touch on today. Um,
Oh, what do we know?
what do we know, right? Like,
Oh, that's juicy. Do say more.
uh, so I mean the whole like the jealousy bit, like even if you just take the one aspect of jealousy, right? Um, I have been around people, of course, that are highly insecure and jealous. I've been jealous myself and insecure myself, and uh, now that started asking the question that what is my reality with love, I realize, oh my god, I don't get jealousy. I just don't get it. I can't be
Cool.
jealous for the life of me, and I wouldn't understand, why someone would get jealous of me, right? Specifically when you are in a relationship with someone, it's like when I do look back on when I was younger, like I don't know, like 2 years old or something, I I mean it's hard for me to be jealous. Like, it's really difficult for me to have that emotion of jealousy. And I was really talking to myself last night. I do a lot of talking to myself. I don't know if that's just me, but I was talking to
Oh,
myself last
no, I do that too. Don't worry. It's the self
night.
facilitation.
But are we talking to ourselves? Who are we talking to?
Well, are you
Yeah,
talking to yourself or another entity that you thought was yourself?
yeah, exactly that. Right. So the conversation that I was having with a version of myself last night is that how much jealousy is a learned behavior, right? That if you
Yeah.
are in a relationship, you must be jealous, and if you're not, that means you're not in love, right? Like if I do love someone and I don't get jealous, that means it's wrong. Like it's almost a wrongness to not be jealous in a relationship. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, why are you not jealous? Like, if the person you're in a relationship with is having a conversation with other
Yeah.
people or is being flirty with other people, and I honestly have no point of view about it.
Yeah,
And
it's
when you process,
funny.
yeah, and I was like, like, I have been in those situations where I've been asked, like, why don't you care? Like, can you not see what's going on in front of you, and why do you not care? And it's like, it's not, I mean, I just don't have a point of view, where, so how much of that is like a construct and a limitation, and it's a taught, it's a learned behavior in this reality that, love equals you must get jealous,
Yes.
what if that's not true for you?
And
Uh,
like one thing that popped for me is that like I actually picking it up from other people.
yeah,
Like, because I, for me, when I start like getting a sense of, oh my gosh, what's this like weird jealousy? And then I'm like, oh, it's not mine. And I return to sender and it's like, wow, it was never mine to begin with. And it's like,
yeah.
what if you're actually picking it up from the other person, right?
Yeah, and you think it's yours. Uh, Also, the whole. I mean, there's so many projections when it comes to relationships in general. Like if I am in a relationship with someone, everybody around me that who cares for me will have their own projections on the relationship, which stops. I mean, and I'm Indian. Like
Yeah.
we all have a point of view when it comes to relationships. So
It's not just your point of view, it's like everyone
every
around you, and then all their entities, and then all their entities. So,
ancestral entities and your parents and their parents and your best friends and their best friends, and then teams get formed. I'm on this person's team and I'm on that person's team, and I'm gonna back this person up and I'm gonna back that person up. Oh my god, it's a circle.
oh,
So it's never
yes.
about two people in India, it's about the community in general. Like all of us together are in a relationship with each other, and that really doesn't give you uh, uh, I mean, at what point do you get to choose your reality with that person? Because
Mm,
all you're doing is you're basically catering to everyone's projections, everyone's expectations of what it should look like, and what's the right way of talking to each other in public, and what's the wrong way of being with each other in public, and yeah, it's.
yeah. And
I mean, if you don't have
any,
an issue,
oh, go ahead.
even if you don't have an issue with the person, I mean, just being and that's where the awareness, if you aren't aware that it's not yours, is where it starts really messing with you, because you don't know that the reaction is a reaction to others' expectations, not
Mm,
exactly anything to do with me or anything to do with the person. So, yeah, I think one of those. I mean, that's the freedom that I mean, those are the, that's the freedom, that's the area, thanks to access consciousness and the tools that, like, hey, it does not belong to me. These are just projections, these are just expectations, these are
yeah.
just definitions. It ain't true. I
Yes.
can make them true for myself. It ain't true. So, yeah, what were you saying?
Well, I just love that you have that awareness that it's not yours, and you have all these different people,
Yeah,
family who really care for you and want you to do what's right. But
yeah,
is it really like your reality? So that's so cool because just having that insight and acknowledging that, oh, you know what, maybe this isn't my reality, and
yeah,
what is. So like what can we create? What's something new that we can like insert into this reality in this
yeah,
world that people can start creating from?
yeah. And the whole,
Yes.
I also, I would love to talk about, where Gary says, was it the, wasn't it the Gentleman's Book Club? I think it was the Gentleman's Club where the book, not Gentleman's, the Gentleman's Club book club.
Yes.
Wow, Gentleman's Club book club. Whatever.
Yes. There you go.
Where he says that, if you're married to, or if you're in a relationship with a guy, always, always, always go to the guy's parents and tell the parents that their kid is the best thing that could have happened to you, where irrespective of whether it's true or not, where the whole conversation, you remember where he says, if I'm married to a guy, always go and tell the guy's parents that your son is the best thing that could have happened to me, like being in, like whether it's true or not, because that's, I mean, at the end of the day, usually your parents are on your side and they think you're the best thing that could have happened to anyone. And that
Mm-hmm.
in itself, like, that I don't know how to put this into words, but that gave me so much clarity because in India we are, we do live with our parents even after we get married, right? So, and I was married and I did live with my husband's ex-husband's parents in the house. So, I mean, where it becomes a fight where, you can't really talk bad about the person because in their eyes, their son is absolutely pristine and like
Mm-hmm.
perfect and God's child and and Gary and then I was like I don't want to like pretend that he's the best thing because I mean we're all human, we're all imperfect, like why do I have to pretend? And then when Gary said it is when I got it is that they would never hear otherwise, you know.
Yeah.
And the guy said, like, what if you could just go and be that space of gratitude in front of the guy's parents, and it does. If what if it could come from a space of genuine gratitude, and
Yeah.
where it doesn't, where it's not a fight, where you're not defending for or against anyone's reality. But I mean, how many parents are going to be okay with you going up and telling what your son is pretty shitty? Which is like,
Well, we're gonna be different parents, so we'll be like, oh yeah, he kind of is.
I mean,
Well, but yeah, in terms of this generation, an older generation, really talking to what they could receive, especially about their children, like their son, the perfect son.
God's child.
Oh, God's child.
Everything bad brought up.
Yes. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all nitrous, boys, and beyonds. And for those of you who are new to Access, that's the clearing statement. And that, thank you, Joe. Theclearingstatement.com for more information and a wonderful, succinct video by Dr. Dane here. So, yeah.
So I
Where
would
were we heading?
I think in the last 3 months, more than I mean, like 3 months ago, I made a promise to myself that I'm going to frack the insanity of the stupidity of relationships that
Mm.
I have been a part of in my life personally and even otherwise. And I mean, with the tools of access, where you could really work with desolidifying and destroying and untreating what happened in the past and what can show up in the future as well, like jumping timelines into everything that happened in the past and everything that I solidified that would happen in the future when it comes to the stupidity of relationships and using access numbers and using access tools, and suddenly it's like I can breathe, and I sort of have an energetic sense now after 31 years of being alive of what it means to be in a relationship or out of a relationship for me. So, I mean, yeah, there are like 10,000 tools to use
Mm-hmm.
specifically for love and sex and jealousy and peace. If that is, if I don't know if you're like me and you have struggled with relationships in general, like I have, like
Oh,
mean, and that's the thing, right? Like, how much I'm trying to do relationships from this reality, and how's
wait.
that?
So I have a question.
Yes.
Have you actually struggled with relationships, or is that okay? For me, I never struggled with relationship, but I noticed that I bought into the trauma and drama of everybody else. And I thought that, oh, if I'm in a relationship, I have to have some trauma and drama. I have to have that. Otherwise, it would be a boring relationship where you're just like sitting on the porch, like on your rocking chair and just watching the world go by.
Where's the intensity? Where is the yeah, I know what you mean. For me, it wasn't per se to do with the trauma and drama. For me, it was more to do with what commitment should look like in a relationship. The
Mm,
exclusivity and trust and allowance and which is why the whole jealousy bit. Like if you ask me, I have a very different way of looking at it, like where if you are I mean I realized quite late in my life that for me freedom is what I'm looking for,
yeah.
freedom to be me. So if I'm ever in a relationship, my first priority, the first thing that's very important to me is my freedom. And how many people really know how to give you freedom in a relationship, you know. So while being committed to you or while you are
Mhm.
committed to them, and whatever that looks like, you know, and however that looks like for people. So that was one area where I struggled with, is that I refuse to, you know, let um, I don't know if I'm making sense, but you know, where I didn't want to be told what to do and what to
Mhm.
wear and who to speak to and you know how to speak to someone. And I mean I can't take orders, right? I want to have my own. I want to be my own person while I'm in a relationship. So that was the difficult part for me, and that has always been the difficult part for me. The first thing, you gotta let me be me, you know. And it's and it was like, what can that person add to my life, you know? And I think I was just not letting myself have that as true for me,
Mhm.
because this reality is all like, no, you know, if you are in a relationship, it's normal to get jealous. It's not. In fact, you must get jealous, and in fact, you must listen to a person when they tell you, you know, you must dress a certain way and look a certain way and talk to people a certain way when you're in a relationship. And
Yes, you can't be you. You can't flirt. You can't
yeah,
be like kind to other guys or
and
whatever. Just
if you tell me I can't have a conversation with other people, I mean, wow, that's not easy on me at all. Like that is, you know, I love having conversations. You know, like one of the things I really look forward to is having brilliant conversations, and it doesn't even matter which gender it is, right? Like, I mean, I just want to have brilliant conversations. You know? And if you tell me, you know, I can't talk to a person because that person is a guy, we yeah, it's going to be a little difficult to sort of be okay with that.
yeah.
So for me, it was that, like, the you know, the freedom to be me while I am in a relationship with someone. So that was the part that I really struggled with. Yeah, yeah. For me, it still is, you know, where I was like, as long as I get to be me, it's okay.
Okay, cool.
It
Are
works for
there
me.
any tools, like just like one tool that you'd like to because I know like for most of the world, jealousy is not like what you're speaking of, where it's, it's not even something that's relevant. It's just,
Yeah,
you still do what you do, and you don't allow jealousy to dictate who you can be, who you can talk to, like, what you be, what you do.
yeah,
So for the rest of the world, it's a little different. There's other people who don't allow jealousy to actually dictate what they can or cannot do. But for those who are stuck in that kind of cycle of like love and sex and then jealousy and then
yeah,
like lack of peace,
yeah.
what can we use?
So honestly, and I know this is the most cliched tool that probably everyone's given it, but for me it is that mind. It's my go-to tool for everything. The jealousy is that mind. The insecurity is that mind. The
Mm-hmm.
wanting to get it right is that mind. The it has to look a certain way is that mind. Uh, you know, or I mean, all my feelings, are they mine? All of that person's feelings, are they mine? Right? Like it's like a nice little soup that we are in, where we really don't know what's someone else's and what's ours, and everything is like mishmash. I mean, you lose the essence of who you are. So for me, the go-to tool for everything in life and with relationships is this mind. You know, even the attraction, like, I mean, I realized of late that all the people that I was attracted to in my life was actually me just tapping into how they were attracted to me, and was, I mean, the attraction was not mine either. Like that was like
Yeah.
this breakthrough moment for me. It's like,
It's
oh, I didn't like that person liked me. Was that mine?
yes.
Like, oh my
So
god.
many times.
Yeah, you think
Wow.
that, you know, this person is the one. You've met the, you know, the Prince Charming or a knight in
Yeah.
shining armor, and you're like, oh my god, it's love at first sight. And I really bought that as mine for all of my life. I was like, wait a second, Prerna, is that yours? Or are you just tapping into, you know, what that, you know, the feelings that the other person is having about you? So that even
Yeah.
all the people that you're attracted to, you might want to ask, is that yours? So
Yeah. And it's always your first, like, even before you start thinking, that's actually what's true, like
yeah,
right there.
yeah,
So there might be something to that love at first sight thing,
yeah.
but it's more like an energy at
Yeah,
first.
yeah, yeah. I remember, I love the bit where you spoke about where, it's always the girls that, well, it's always the women that are the choosers and
Hmm.
not the, and I think that was a brilliant, that was another aha moment that I had during the Gentleman's Book Club was, like that is, that opens up stuff, because I never thought I could choose, I thought I was always at the effect of men. I
Hmm.
could not choose. And I was like, oh, one side is the other. So everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. And when you said, I mean, just for a second, guys, if you could consider, did you just get chosen or did you choose?
Well,
You know, did you get chosen or did you choose? And the whole conversation where it ties up with, are you waiting to be the chosen one or would you be willing to choose now for yourself? Choose me
yes,
first and then see if that works for you. Is the attraction yours? I mean, are you attracted or are you tapping into the person's attraction of you? Um, all the feelings of jealousy and insecurity, is that yours? Of what, I mean, yeah. That, I mean, there's a whole like, this is the undefined territory, and it's almost, I know it gets scary because you're like, it's like, what is true anymore? I don't know what's true anymore. I don't know what's true anymore. But here's the question, that we go to, like, what is my reality with this, and what do I know about relationships that no one else knows, that if I allowed and acknowledged, that would change all my relationships, and
yes,
show up as the magnificent relationships and truly can be. So
yes. Everything that doesn't allow that, right, wrong, good, bad, for fuck, all nitrous with and beyond.
yeah, and
Wow.
would you be willing to be the leader of a new paradigm of what it means to be in a relationship? Like, what is the new, what do you know that no one else knows about relationships? And of being in a relationship, and having the freedom to be you and to be all of you and to let the person be all of them while they are with
Yeah.
you.
And
It's a whole different world out there when
yeah,
you
I
use
was
the.
just, that just opened up so much space. Like, what if you and allowing that other person to be who they be and that, you know, allowance that they have of you, like, what
Yeah,
if that's going to create even greater? Like, because so many people look for the other to complete them. That's like what I've been noticing. Instead of being the contribution to that other person that would allow that other person to contribute to everything else, kind of thing.
yeah, I mean, where they show up as the greatness of them, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
every day they just get greater and greater because you have allowance for them. And what would it be like to have someone in your life that would have that allowance for you, where I get
Yeah.
greater and greater every 10 seconds of my life, and that person still has my back, and where, I mean, I, and what would it take to have that show up with ease and joy and glory? What if it
Yeah.
isn't? What if it doesn't have to be difficult? What if it's just a
Yeah.
choice away?
And, like, this is kind of like the silver lining. What if, like, all the other relationships that you had actually allowed you to become more aware of what works for you and what doesn't work for you?
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
If nothing else, that for sure is, yeah, yeah. And I just quickly want to add, I was reading the reference material and probably, hmm, I just want to get this right, where Gary says that, when you meet someone for the first time, you really like them for who they are, and then
Mm-hmm.
immediately within anywhere from 3 days to 3 years, you've divorced all bits and pieces and parts of you to
Mm-hmm.
be in a relationship with that person, and then you wonder why that relationship doesn't work is because the person that person liked, it doesn't even exist anymore. Because, and how much of you have you compromised just to be in a relationship with someone? And that is
Mm-hmm.
also, wow, like, who were you before you got into a relationship? Like, what sort of, what was your energy and what did you like? And at what point did you give all of that up just so that you could be in a relationship with someone? So it's about not giving you up ever
Yeah.
and still be in a relationship that works for you and the other person.
Wow. There, when you were talking about that, another thing that Gary, was it Gary? He talked about anytime you have that really strong physical and like chemical attraction to someone, it's actually when you had like some lifetimes together and you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was
I
wondering if we can we go there.
Oh my God, let's go there. It's one of my
Okay.
favorite topics. It's I
Yes.
don't get me started, Annie. You'll have to get me to shut up if I start.
Please. Just
So I tell
let's keep going.
so I attended Shat's sexual healing telecall that she did, I think in March, if I'm not wrong. And I remember one of the telecalls, Shan goes, attraction is contraction. Attraction
Oh.
is contraction. And she said if you enter a room and you see someone you're attracted to, run in the opposite direction. You don't go there. Do not go. Do not go there. And I was like, what? Like you're taking away everything that attraction is for me. What do you mean by don't be with someone you're attracted to? It doesn't make sense. I mean, isn't that the whole point of it? That I'm attracted to the other person. And she's like, if you ever see someone you're attracted to, you don't want to get into a relationship with them. You want to run in the opposite direction. And that has been unraveling for me up until now. Like even now,
Mhm.
it's like the entire basis of my relationship is has sort of like the foundation of it is like gone. So and she said that if you really want a relationship that works for you, probably be with someone you're not attracted to. I was like, what?
Oh.
How does that work? Like, what do you mean? Because that's the thing, right? Like, the minute your body goes into the reaction when
Mhm.
you see someone where you're attracted, or your heart is beating faster, or your palms are getting sweaty, it's basically your body giving you an awareness of how many lifetimes you spent with that person, and all the
Mhm.
oaths and vows that you have with that person, and all the
Mhm.
projections, and all the expectations, and all the mess, and all the all those lifetimes.
Mhm.
And are you sure you want to go there again? Like, I mean, or would you rather be with someone that doesn't come with that baggage of
Mhm.
expectations and oaths and vows? And how many of us really date people that we're not attracted to?
Mm. Am I like the only different one?
Maybe I'm going to join you very soon because I'm going to experiment.
Okay. But yeah, I there's like no attraction, and then oh, it might be like I'm buying other people's points of views that oh, yeah, that person's really great, and then I'm like, "Oh, maybe that person's really great." Okay, so I have a completely different
Yeah. So what do you
problem.
think? Yeah. What did you know, right? Like, what are you aware of? I mean, yeah, I mean, if he went beyond the whole romantic notion of, you
Mhm.
see a person and there should be thunder in the sky, and, there should be rainbows, and you should hear background. I mean, you should hear violin when you see someone, and that's how you know it's the love of your life. What if that's bullshit? Right? What
Yeah.
if the opposite of that is true? Because that's what I believed in for all of my life. Like I have to feel that intensity when I see someone, otherwise I'm not attracted. I went standing.
Yeah.
If you're attracted, run. Don't go there. I was like, what? What do you mean? And I was like, okay, so all the people that I was attracted to definitely, I mean, it didn't go anywhere great from there. So it would probably, I mean, what would it look like if you did do relationship with someone that you're not attracted to? Like just saying that, I'm like, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's not it doesn't sound fun.
yeah. And I mean, yeah, what is fun for you?
But I had this idea that popped up. What if like you would pull all the people who you're attracted to or who are attracted to you to your classes instead?
Oh my,
Then you'd be so turned on in class. I
you
don't know.
mean
I like some of that.
you mean to say you're not turned on in class? Okay, so is that
No, I said then you'll be even more. You'll be so turned on. There you go.
wow?
Okay,
Uh,
okay. Need some air here.
and I love this. I love this aspect of Annie where she doesn't really say much, but she still says everything energetically. And I love when you don't really use words, but there's so much that there's like so many undertones of what you're saying on the background. I love that. I love that about you, where you just go like there's this whole conversation, energetic conversation that happens with you without you really using words. I love it. Like I think it's
Thanks.
yeah. I think it just that I was getting in my head while you said that. I was like, oh god,
Yeah, I would go there on on live Facebook.
I don't doubt that at all. I do.
Oh
But also, I
gosh.
think, the other way of also like looking at it is, where Gary talks about who are you attracted to, the bit that we cover in Foundation, with the winners, losers, and no counts. What is your type? Are you attracted to the winners? Are you attracted to the losers? Are you attracted to the no counts? So I think it's, yeah, like what would being with a no count look like and be like for you? That I mean, that's something that I've never considered before. So
Yeah.
when Shadi said attraction is contraction, that shifted so much in my world. And I mean, every class I do, there's at least one day or one minute of that class where I go about talking about just attraction is contraction and don't go there. Like, rather the opposite direction. You don't want to go there. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because we have such a strong reaction, like
Yeah.
bodily reaction, it's like so easy to know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta either jump in and be like, okay, hey, do you want to do some processing, body process or something together, and just leave it at that, or
Yeah.
run
Yeah, that's the two choices. Or the third choice is go there and then still go
and
there.
try to have fun, and then leave before the second week starts?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, relationships by Annie. Guys, no. Sorry.
I love that. Like, what I mean, like, yeah, if you are getting magnetically attracted to someone,
Mm-hmm.
pull back and go in the opposite direction. Like pull back. Like if someone's pulling you, pull away, get away as fast as you can. Like run for your life. So yeah, it's it makes
Oh,
you see people in a very
yeah.
different way. Then you start that like I really started noticing all the people that I'm not attracted to that I never would
Mm-hmm.
notice otherwise because I really got present with like I would only pay attention. I mean, isn't that was that like that is that just me that I would only look at men that I was attracted to, and all the
Yeah.
other men was sort of background. Like I didn't really look at them. Like they didn't really matter. And then when this whole conversation opened up with Shannon, and then I was like, now I started noticing all the men that I'm not attracted to. So
Mhm.
I'm like, I wonder what that's like. So that's a huge thing for me as well. That I would never notice men if I was not attracted to them earlier. So now I feel,
Yeah.
I mean, I am noticing moments. So I mean,
And how
technically,
about,
I'm attracted
yeah,
to.
how about your bringing your body into it? Like, have you
Yeah,
noticed you had like more of a communion, like a better communication with your body in terms of like, oh yeah, that's a guy that would definitely
yeah,
could possibly be in relationship with.
yeah,
Oh, and just like how Prerna said before, is that even yours? Believing in the intensity as attraction. A comment by Shikha.
yeah. So for me, now that I've started noticing all the men that I'm not attracted, my body is so much more relaxed and I'm not stiff. Like, I mean, I don't know, like when I'm always around men that I'm attracted, my body is so stiff. And I wonder what awareness my body was giving me about that I was not
Mm,
acknowledging. That I would never really be comfortable. I would just be like, I would always like, am I sitting the right way? Am I like, my shoulders would be stiff and I would be uncomfortable. And then when I'm around men that I'm not really attracted to, I'm just like so relaxed. Like, hey, what's up? Like, what's going on? It's like I wouldn't. I mean, my body is so much more relaxed, and I think
mm-hmm.
that's a good sign. That's a brilliant sign to have. Like, the body is going like. this is good. There's
Yeah.
nothing to worry about. Your shoulders are relaxed, body is relaxed. I mean, it's all good. So it's all good in the hood. So I mean, that
And
is
like, how much more are you receiving when you're relaxed too?
exactly right. Yeah, and also like when also the body can really become stiff when there's a lot of judgment, when people are projecting a lot of judgment on the body, where the body sort of just contracts and becomes stiff, and then you come in contact with someone that doesn't judge your body, and you aren't attracted to them, and it's just so much easier. Like there's no, I mean, I don't have to be something I'm not. My body doesn't have to look a certain way. I don't have to talk a certain way. I don't have to think before I talk. It's just there's so much. I mean, I don't want to say harmony, but there's so much. I mean, more of an acoustical, easy, relaxed vibe to it than
Yeah.
the stiffness and the contraction and the intensity and the. And do you think that that's sexual turn on? And what if it's not? What if the opposite is true?
Yes. Like, what if it's actually the relaxation that's like
That's the turn
creating
on.
more of a, yeah, a turn on? Yeah.
Rather than the stiffness. What if that's the yeah? That was also one of those things that oh, I've never looked at that. For us, like, the whole like, is your body reacting? And if your body is reacting, maybe that's you being turned on. What if it's the opposite that's you,
Hmm.
where it's the relaxed and like your body is like, what if that is like being in the sexualness or and the energy of the body, where you are being the orgasmic, nurturing, caring energy, where that person is also being that for you and your body is relaxation is just easy and that's turn on and that's good, that's a great green signal that wow, I just got goosebumps.
Yeah, me too. We're
Well,
totally
like
not
finally
connected.
you get it, you idiot, it took you 31 years but you get it. You get it. Yeah. So wow.
That's cool. What if we just unlocked something all over like the universe? I don't know. I feel like doing a 17 and 18. Can we do that? Is it
I,
like
I joke around with my friends that I actually did get married and I mean I'm separated now and I'm basically living my 20s and my 30s now and I'm living my teen years now where
me
I'm like
too? High five.
where
Yes.
I'm rediscovering what it means to oh, like what does it mean to date men and what does it mean, what is attraction and what is relationship and something. I mean now and there's so much thanks to Access Consciousness and thanks for choosing the tools and the classes and I'm like wow, there's so much more available now that has never been available before. And
Yeah.
what now it's a playground, what else is possible that I've never considered possible, and yeah, goosebumps again. Like now it's
Yes.
unlocking the gates for something really beyond this reality to show up, where it doesn't have to come up from a space of
Can we can we open it?
more.
What's the number we can do?
Uh, we could start with a 4. So
Okay.
do it.
Yes.
So
Go for
everywhere.
it.
So what is possible now with relationships that we don't think is possible? Everything that doesn't allow beyond this reality relationship to now show up. Can destroy and uncreate all of that at 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. All the stupidity that we are using with keeping the insanity of relationship as real and true. Can you destroy and uncreate at 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And could we ask the elementals and the universe to contribute something beyond this reality to show up with absolute ease at 17 and 18? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, oh, 17, 18, 17, 17,
Yes.
17, 18, 17, 18, 17, 18, 17, 18, and all the vibration virtual realities that do not allow that to show up, destroy and uncreate at 20. Did you want to do some numbers?
Wow. I think something shifted.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much.
This is fun. I enjoy. I'm so nervous, but this is fun. This is super fun. Thank you.
Well, it's always fun with you. So, um,
And you always make it easy, right? Like, I mean, that's, yeah. Maybe this
Cool.
is what we should look for, in relationships.
Easy, easy, fun, and change the whole world.
With every conversation that you have. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. What if you could date someone where every conversation you have changes the world? Could- Yeah.
I yes, I got I have like a permanent goosebump.
I'll have that, Yeah.
Yeah.
I would ask for that for sure.
Wow. Cool. So this was such a great conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, and this is fun.
Can we talk a little bit about your upcoming classes too?
Oh yeah, we had. So I have a foundation. Online foundation is coming up on 26th June, and I have an acknowledgement series that's starting on 1st July, which is three calls on acknowledgement the missing P, which
Yeah.
is something that's very. I mean, what if, one of the things I realized with access consciousness is like how much we don't acknowledge our capacities and we aren't our loudest cheerleader. And, where there's a constant need uh, to seek validation from external sources. And what if you could be your own loudest cheerleader, right? What could you acknowledge
Hmm.
about yourself that you've never acknowledged before? But if you did acknowledge, would change all realities and non realities and create a life that works amazingly well for you and others and everything. And I think that's not how that right over back or college or further. So
Yep.
acknowledgement is something that I've been dabbling with a lot of late, and it's been changing so much where I'm not. The whole conversation we had in the gentleman's book club about you being the valuable product, and how much
Yes.
acknowledgement can now change if you doubt the fact that you are the valuable product. And that is something that these are the kind of stuff that I do want to cover in the acknowledgement series. So I'm really excited about that. That starts on 1st July.
Yeah.
And I have a foundation that's coming up on 26th June. So I'm excited for those two
Cool.
in the
Yeah.
pipeline.
I love that the acknowledgement series.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah,
Cool. So guys, if you enjoyed our conversation, definitely check out Perna's classes coming up. And the best way would be to connect with you on Facebook or
yeah. You could just drop in a message, or they could just leave in a comment or whatever, and I would
okay.
connect with them, or they could just drop me a message on Facebook.
Okay, cool. So thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Thank you. This is fun. Bye. Take care.
Okay, bye. Have a good night, everyone. Or good morning, wherever you are in the world.
Wherever you are. Thank you for watching. Bye.